All right, I have another embarrassing restaurant story for you. And the 3 tips, again, that we've learned going through this experience. And again, I want to share this with you because we're all humans on planet Earth dealing with the similar issues. And I'm hoping that you can take a couple of insights, go back to your operations, hopefully, and to save you some pain. And so this has come about from one of our restaurants. We get a call that, we hired a manager for that location. A couple of months later, I get a call from one of the managers that works with this manager. I'm going to call this particular manager John. And so one of our managers calls and say, "Hey, I want to tell you, John, it seems like he has a parole officer, and the parole officer is saying that he cannot work for us and he needs to quit, that John needs to quit. The parole officer is saying he's not allowed to work for us." Like, what are you talking about? Who's this parole officer? John is doing really well. I mean, why would this parole officer want this guy to quit? And we're like, okay, why? We don't know what's going on. And we try to dig into it. And then so our manager's like, what? Maybe I should talk to the parole officer to communicate that, John has been working for us as a manager at this location and he's doing pretty good. What's going on in here? And so this manager, I don't know, called the parole officer and we got to gather some intel. John, this young man, I'm calling him John, is a sex offender. Our location is close to a school within a blah, blah, blah radius, and he's not allowed to work at our location because of that. What? He's a sex offender? And he's worked for us for 2 months, and we didn't know anything about that. And obviously the manager, the way he communicated it is that his parole officer told him that he needs to quit. Not that, I'm a sex offender and blah, 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 and I have a parole officer. He should have known all those things, of course. And this leads me to 3 lessons learned. Lesson 1, don't be naive. This is a crazy world. If you live on planet Earth, know that some people are crazy. There is a lot of crazy in the world. Maybe it wasn't that bad a decade ago or 2 decades ago. It wasn't that crazy. It's very crazy now, at least where we live. I don't know about where you live. There are all kinds of people in the world. And again, it goes back into my husband and I were just really naive. Stop it. Know that. Second lesson that I learned through this thing and many different iterations of shenanigans that we went through in the last year, not very good surprises with people, is that I've always thought that I'm a good person discerning another person. I always thought more or less of myself. Thank you very much. However, this is the lesson I learned. Evil people don't look like orcs. I don't know if you've watched like Lord of the Rings, and evil characters on movies or TV shows look like really ugly, and like you can really tell, that's an evil character or that's an evil person. With humans, however, some of them are really nice. They carry themselves. They're really courteous, very, very well mannered, and all in all, could be a sex offender, could be a felon of who knows what, attempted murder. So lesson number 2, evil people. I'm going to say evil, but ultimately people that may not be a good fit for our operations when we have children of our own and or families with young kids we serve, this won't be a good fit for, are not going to look like orcs. They look like regular people. So remember that. Don't be naive. Did I say that? And third, and certainly not least, do background checks. We operated for a long time without doing background checks. And you know what? Those times are gone. We have to do background checks. And as we've opened more locations in San Antonio, in terms of being in different kinds of neighborhoods that we've never been in operating, we've realized, oh, wait, we need to conduct background checks. So that was that. So we had to let that person go. And we learned some lessons out of that sucky experience. And I hope you don't have to experience that for yourself and the ramifications of all of that. And you can learn from our mistakes. So do some background checks. Look into it. There are many services out there that do background checks, at least for managers. Those in leadership, you need to do background checks. And remember that people don't look like orcs. They look like regular people. Let me know your thoughts. Have you had a similar issue as this, or it's just us? I would love to hear your thoughts. You can leave a comment on YouTube channel somewhere. I'd love to read those, or send me an email to makingdoughshow@gmail.com. With that, clearly we've got work to do. Let's get back to work and make some dough. Thank you. Bye-bye.